What's up, YouTube? This is One Way. Back with another video. Thought I'd speak on a couple things today. A couple things I've been hearing out here in these YouTube streets, so figure I'd respond. Maybe I'll wait a little bit, see if someone pops in. Yeah, that's the thing out here in these YouTube streets, or in the real world, I should say, you know. Don't let people up here trying to front and try to show you like they got money and stuff like that, because people with real money, you could really see it, you know what I'm saying? If they're up here trying to show $100 bills with, you know, poking toothpicks through them and showing you that they got a couple real $100 bills, you know, that says just a little bit, you know. Because we all know what the bills are and what it costs to live these days like that. And it's like a few racks. So when people up here are showing a couple $100, see what that really means and understand. Like, could you imagine Elon or people like that, Elon or like Joe Rogan or something like that? Could you picture them up here flashing money like that? No, they got things to really show, like podcasts and rockets and Tesla mobiles and stuff like that. Like real stuff that shows that they got money, you know what I'm saying? You know, money is real, like investments and stuff like that. Like, for example, back in 2010, if you were to invest maybe even $100 in Bitcoins, I think right now your payout would have been like 40 racks or something like that. That's just like an investment. Like, as far as like talking about money and real money and stuff like that. Not just flashing money on YouTube and stuff like that, trying to convince people you got money. You'll be able to convince kids and stuff like that you got money, but mature people that are grown, they can really see what the flashing of money shows and stuff like that. Like I said, there's investments out there, even right now with AI going on. There's big investments right now with AI or uranium, for example. I guess they used uranium heavy in that stuff, so now uranium would be a good investment. You know, there's a lot of investments out there. People tap into me, like artificial photosynthesis and, you know, just a bunch of different things that can actually, you can accumulate actually real wealth and stuff like that. And it's not just trying to front on YouTube. You know, we were young, that's what we try to do, flex up and do stuff like that. But as we grow older, you know, you can't be tripping like if the next guy's got more money than you. You can't be hating on them. And for example, you can't be trying to compare them to, like, for example, you can't be out here trying to compare people like CJ20 to say, oh, you ain't nothing like CJ on 32s. You ain't got the money chats and the people up in there like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to be realistic out here with what you're talking about. And if you're the one speaking, you got to speak on yourself. Don't just be speaking on other people like CJ on 32. You know what I'm saying? To try to diss somebody and then compare them to like CJ on 32 and say, oh, you ain't nothing like him and stuff like that. That kind of like belittles yourself when you're trying to flash money at the same time and just trying so much to convince people. You'll end up realizing that the only people you're convincing are a bunch of people that don't know, or a bunch of immature people or something like that. Because grown people ain't cool with that. See, money leads to a lot of stuff: hate, jealousy, and all that stuff. Snitching, and there's people that will call and try to get you, just do all kinds of ill things just because they have hatred towards you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They aren't able to accept the life that they see in the mirror, so they got to deflect it all and try to badmouth other people out there. That's what I see a lot of people do up in the world. Like, for example, if you're over 40, 30 and stuff like that, and you're still out here trying to prove like that you're tough with the streets and stuff like that, and trying to gain that rep and telling people to pull up, you know, it goes to show how mature you really are in the world. Because you really think grown men are telling people that, you know, they're gonna pull up at their house and stuff like that? No. People like me, we have our place and we just protect it to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So you can take your risk to come and try to find out people's locations and where they live like that. But at the same time, what are you gonna do? You're gonna send a crash dummy over there, or you're gonna pull up over there and take a risk pulling up at a grown man's home and stuff? So that's the thing where right or wrong steps in, and then the laws also step in right there. You can defend yourself. Anybody. You could be, you know, you could be any type of person, but if you're defending your home, you have all rights by law to any threats coming your way. That's just the reality of it. You can't go out there and be threatening people and stuff like that, but you have all rights to protect your home and your property to the fullest. So when people out there talk all this stuff like that, they're not being realistic, or they're being immature, or they're being like a monster. You know what I'm saying? Because only a monster would try to enter another man's private property with a threat, not knowing what's going on within that guy's home or property. You know what I'm saying? They got family and they got other stuff going on. So if all you got out here is social media and trying to impress the nobodies, that's how you're going to end up getting caught up and still end up with nothing in life. Because the whole thing in life is to elevate and move up in levels and stuff like that, and not be still doing the same shit you've been doing since high school. If you're out here still trying to gain a rep and trying to prove people like we did back in high school that we're somebody versus actually being somebody, then you're going to live your whole life and not get nowhere in life. And that's just the reality of it. Like I said, Elon, you'll never see him out here flashing money, putting toothpicks through $100 bills, trying to prove people he got $100 bills and shit. We already know. He don't even got to show nothing. We know he probably got hella stacks. He got rockets flying to the moon. He got the Tesla cars everywhere. It's just the reality of stuff. You got to really see with your eyes, and don't be stupid and think that you're somebody because you're able to prove to the nobodies, you know, like a front. Life isn't a front, especially if you're grown. If you're like over 30, 40, 50, for sure, you can't be doing shit when you're like a teenage or someone like up in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? Because what's that going to get you and shit? Like, it's just being honest out here in the real world, where there's like money being involved and stuff like that, and it's just not out here trying to be a front. I know a lot of people want to front and stuff like that and want to show that they're balling and stuff like that. But like me, I could be coming up here with gold chains and shit and flashing $100 bills and stuff like that. But what does that do for me as a person? Maybe it's good for show, but are the people who I want to be a part of my show really going to believe the bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Do I want to really come up here with the bullshit? You know, I guess I could, and maybe that can be good for entertainment, but at the same time, you got to be realistic when you're talking about money and stuff like that. Money is not money is not just $100 bill that you pull up here and poke a toothpick through and try to prove to everybody that you got something. Money and having money goes a little deeper. You got to be able to do something with that money beyond paying your bills and stuff like that. And you got to be able to tap in to places that either, if you like money and you know money is what makes it here in America, you got to be able to tap into the ways that make you money. And that's just being realistic. Being a front out here, trying to front for the girls and stuff like that, that's only going to get you so far. That's going to end up getting you homeless or living in a van or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're a grown man and you're still fronting out here and your life ain't straight, this video right here is pretty much just any grown person. If your life ain't straight and you're up here trying to front, see what that's doing for you. You know what I'm saying? See if that's really paying off, and see who really believes you. See, look who's really believing you. I mean, you'll have people that believe you, but look at the people that are believing what you're doing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There's people like me that believe in, like Elon. You know what I'm saying? I see the rockets, I see the Teslas. Those are the people I believe in who have wealth and stuff like that. If you're up here on YouTube flashing a couple $100, putting toothpicks to the shit and trying to show people you got money, it's hard for someone like me to believe that you got any money at all. And that's just being honest. It makes me think you're like broke, because that's what a broke person does. And I'm not saying that's what broke people can do, but there's a fine line between being broke and being broke. And that's just real talk. We all want to be wealthy in life and succeed and even be rich YouTubers even, or any wealth, whether it be investments or anything like that. I don't want to live my life fronting and just showing people who ain't gonna benefit me in life that I have a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying, a couple $100 that I can poke toothpicks through. My life is more realistic. Yeah, YouTube, and this is for show, but in the real world, you know, things matter that are real. like actual material items and family and stuff like that. Maybe you have kids or stuff like that. If you're not seeing that your kids are doing good, or you're just fronting, then maybe something ain't right. Like my kid, like for example, I'm not gonna be up here trying to front and act like I got stuff like that. I'll have my son, he can go show his scat packs and stuff like that, because that's what I do for him. And then that's how I want to show, you know, instead of me up here flashing $100 bills, poking toothpicks up in them, I would rather see my son rolling around a scat pack and knowing that real money is being, you know, invested where it matters, you know what I'm saying? My son's happiness and stuff like that. And that's just what this video was about, of how what kind of money you have, what you're doing with your money and stuff like that, and if you're just playing out here trying to impress the nobodies, or if you're really using it. Like me, I want my son to be happy. I want him to have things and stuff like that. And that's what I'm doing with my money and shit. My money is not to show people on YouTube that I got money. My money is for my girl to go shopping, for us to eat good, steaks, barbecues, to eat good and stuff like that. And for us to just live. Because it ain't cheap out here in California to live. So if you ain't using your money wisely and you're up here just fronting, playing games, then you're going to end up being 60, 70 years old. You ain't going to have nothing. And man, I hope some youngsters are tapping into what I'm saying. Investments can go a long ways. Like I said, in Bitcoins, imagine 2010, $100 if you dropped 40 racks right now. That's investments. With all this AI going around, you got this uranium. Right now, if you were to invest in uranium, I bet your shit gonna go up. Let's see who has money to invest all them $100 bills you got that you poking them toothpicks through. Look up uranium and see if you can tap into stuff like that. Or maybe artificial fucking weathering or anything like that. There's all kinds of shit going around that you can tap into. Should I have a list somewhere down here of stuff you can look into? Oh yeah, that telehealth stuff is another investment. Besides the shit, what was the other ones? Telehealth, uranium, some artificial photosynthesis and stuff like that. People are hitting me up, sending me things and wanting me to invest in stuff like that. That's why I'm just giving it back to you guys. Like these are really ways that you can become rich and really invest and make some money out here. There was another one. It was about like environmental, it was an ESG or something like that. Environmental something global. With all the global warming and all that stuff going around, people are trying to like find ways to make the environment, sustainable for the future. So there's a lot of investments going on right now, and that's getting pretty deep too. Besides gold and silver, we all know gold and silver is what it is, and always hold on to your gold. But if you're really trying to invest and you ain't trying to out here trying to be fugazi, I mentioned at least 4 different ways you can invest and make some big money and shit. Maybe be a millionaire. If you're a youngster and you got some money, you can probably be a millionaire in the things that I mentioned if you really were to tap in and take it seriously. So I hope you out here listening to people that will actually benefit you in life and are actually trying to see good for you and not just trying to see you get nowhere in life where you're old, you ain't got nothing, or you're turning yourself into a crash dummy, or you're still out here trying to prove to the streets that you're somebody and shit. You know what I'm saying? We all came from struggles. We all might have came from the streets or whichever we came from, but there comes a time in life, it's like a leveling up. You ain't gonna be 50 years old gang banging no more and stuff. The little youngsters could be looking at you weird. that ain't gonna make you no money. I mean, unless you're out here actually making money on social media with the gang banging shit, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting paid, like we all say, that's only gonna get you so far. It's gonna get you either locked up or it's gonna get you like 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I don't like to teach my son, is just being a gangster and shit like that. He's been involved with that stuff. Like I said, you know, his best friend blasted, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But as far as anything else like that, you don't want to be a part of it. Any of that negative energy, any of that bullshit where people are trying to suck you into that shit. Hopefully this video right here will get people to understand that you don't got to get yourself involved in that. You can speak on it, but you ain't gotta get yourself involved in stuff like that, because that's just gonna get you nowhere. That's gonna get you in some shit, and that's just real talk. So I hope my video today got somebody out here that's trying to flash money, or even people are trying to get other people in trouble because they got money and shit. However they got their money, hustling or whatever. If you're out here trying to drop dimes and stuff like that, that shit ain't cool. Just anything that ain't 100 and carry yourself like a real man. To me, I don't ride with nothing like that. So if you're out here trying to prove something that really you can stand on, you know what I'm saying? Not behind prison walls and stuff like that, but stand out here in the real world, amongst the Elon Musks and people like that, and the Trumps, you know what I'm saying? Be proud. Do shit that you're proud to speak on. Don't be doing bullshit stuff that people look at you and see the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to bullshit. Shit, I can imagine if I were to come up here and all draped up and shit, flashing money, putting toothpicks and shit, doing all kinds of stuff like that. That would just make me look like either make me look like a fool, or like I always try to tell people, they got them hyenas and them fucking wolves and them predators that are hungry and shit. I don't need to be up here advertising shit and displaying, you know, certain things for the people like that. You gotta also be aware, even though some people are worried about one side, there's always the other side you gotta worry about too. So that's just keeping game out here in the real world. And credit, number one thing out here in this world. To all you people out here flashing $100 bills and shit, credit is the number one thing out here. If your credit is up above 700, then maybe you can be talking, because you can be actually doing things out here in the world. But if you just out here fronting, you know, credit will show you your true character and stuff like that. And to all you kids out there, if anything that you to learn besides investing, don't fuck up your credit, and keep your credit good, because that's gonna be your key to everything. Buying cars, buying homes, getting loans, anything out here in America that you need to make it, shit, everybody's got their shit based on credit. Most of these people out here in America are gonna pass without ever paying off anything. So when you see all these homes out here, nice homes, nice cars, most of that shit is all on credit. So unless you're out here and you got the paper, stacks of paper, and you're really balling like that, and you can buy everything cash, I mean like mansions, cars, everything cash, then understand that credit is the key here in America. And that's real talk. I may sound stupid and people may think I'm stupid, but keep your credit base up and keep your credit line up and keep that credit. No credit ain't good. Shit, I used to roll like that. Pay everything cash, had no credit, and then not having no credit is meaningless and stuff. You could even have a nice home and nice cars and stuff like that, but not having credit. Like when you want to go obtain something new, unless you got the cash, you ain't gonna be able to get it. And another thing is everybody who has bank accounts, tap into a credit union. Have a bank account and a credit union account, because credit unions are the ones that are going to get you the best loans, the best deals and stuff like that with anything. Businesses, you want to open a business, they're going to give you a loan 0% or something under 10%, or buying cars or stuff like that. So that's another game out here if you want to talk about money and stuff like that. Invest your money wisely. See what's really going on. You can see who has money. You can see who ain't got money. And watch out for them snakes and them wolves. And help people that are in need. Don't be out here balling without helping people. And that's how I'm going to end my story today. Help people in need. 'Tis the season. Don't be a Scrooge. I've always felt the best things that I've ever done in life was help people who I knew didn't have money and shit. That shit went a long way to me. Feeding them, giving them a little pocket change, stuff like that. Donating to the kids, donating to the needy, helping, stuff like that. Giving back. That right there means a lot too. So don't be greedy with your money at the same time. Everybody have a good one. Peace out.